few minutes each week of Wednesday at 8:30 a.m. Mountain Time. That is 7:30 on the West Coast, 10:30 on the East Coast. And today we're going to be talking about getting your claims receivables paid. Doctors, this has got to be one of your ongoing nightmares. Uh, People basically don't have an appreciation for what you have to go through to get paid as a private physician. You're looking at quite often two or more different insurances, especially and particularly if your patient is over 65 and they're taking Medicare as a primary. I would say there's a very good percentage of people that have a secondary, also known as gap insurance. And so you complete a claim, you get it submitted, and it's basically like an adventure that you send out to sea and hopefully finds its way back over a period of time with your money somewhere somewhere in its cargo hold. So let's just talk about a few things that we might be able to do to help you to get a little bit more a smooth process. Certain that you've are already doing much of what I'm about to talk to you about here. But if I can give you even one or two different ideas that might help, then that's what we're aiming to do. So let me go ahead and I'm going to share screen here for a second. There are several steps. One, of course, is at the very beginning, patient registration and insurance verification. And of course, this is absolutely critical step, but there are ways that you can ease this process. And one thing that I find very helpful in my own experience as a medical patient is if the practitioner is able to provide some kind of secure online portal that meets the requirements of HIPAA confidentiality, you're going to save quite a bit of time and frustration for the patient at your actual facility. This also increases HIPAA confidentiality because the patient has less time sitting in your waiting room. But if you're able to verify all their contact information, insurance verification, as well as get a full medical history before they ever even take the elevator up to your office, then you're going to find that you're going to have a smoother date of service, but also securely storing this data is going to ease your process going forward. Accurate coding and billing. Now, this sounds like a no-brainer, and I'm certain you're taking steps to do this already, but you want to make sure that your codes are up to date, keeping in mind, of course, both the CPT and the ICD-9 are subject to annual updates, if not more often. It's crucial to get the codes right because if they're not, then certainly you run the risk of it basically sitting in limbo. Quite often, insurance carriers will use this as an excuse to just sit on the claim rather than actually let you know immediately that you have a problem. So accuracy at the very beginning is critical. Submission of claims. Use the electronic health record systems as much as possible, as well as the clearinghouse. You want to do electronic submission as much as possible. Matter of fact, you should be doing that exclusively, of course, and make sure that you're tracking these. You want to set up alerts to follow up on claims if they haven't been processed within the time frame that you had set aside for that. Keep your eye on the ball. The claim resolves from primary to secondary to patient responsibility. Remember that your cash loves speed. Additionally, another thing you want to do is handle your denials and appeals in a timely fashion. You want to review any denied claims to understand the reasons for denial. It could be due to simple coding or a lack of necessary information, or maybe even just a simple misunderstanding. If it's unjustly denied, you want to get your appeal done just as soon as possible, again, because your cash loves speed. Patient billing and collections. This is the fun stuff here. And quite often, I know that you will, if you find the insurance process frustrated, actually bill the patient to get them to participate in the collection process. So on the one hand, your patient is basically your customer, and their 5-star satisfaction is critical to the current and future success of your practice. But at the same time, um, contacting the patient, both for assistance with insurance billing as well as for their responsibility of the payment, it is reasonable and can be expected. And you can do things to make this a more pleasant, but certainly efficient and thorough process. You want to follow up regularly on outstanding patient balances. Consider using general reminders. If you have done a thorough intake at the beginning, you should have permission to send email as well as text messages whenever possible. Take advantage of the tech. It's all there and it's helpful for you. And finally, regular audits and compliance checks. If you regularly review your billing and coding practices to ensure compliance with regulations and identify areas for improvement, then you're basically doing the same kind of preventative maintenance that you do when you make sure that your car has oil. Your codes do have a way of evolving with the updates, and complacency can lead to delays and rejections of payments. So keep up with the changes in the healthcare laws and insurance policies, as well as the coding practices. You want to ensure that your billing processes remain compliant and efficient. So hopefully, if any one of these the 6 steps has been helpful for you, then I'm certainly grateful. The main thing is that profit begins with gross revenue, and gross revenue for a doctor comes from several sources in many cases. And keeping your eye on the progress of your claim as it moves from primary to secondary, sometimes even tertiary, and the patient responsibility is critical to a healthy top line. And of course, you need a healthy top line to have a bottom line that has a number that is greater than 0. And that is the point of your practice. You do want to create valuable service for your patients and ensure that their health is as good as possible. But the main thing is that as a private physician, you're also a business person, and you want to make sure that you're making money as well. So, of course, if you have any questions or comments about this, please do post in any one of the 3 media that we're coming to you live from. We're using YouTube as well as Facebook and, of course, LinkedIn. And remember that we are doing this every single Wednesday at 8:30 a.m. This is a live stream, so if you have a comment or a question during any one of these, of course, we'll do our best to answer it during that period of time. With nobody on asking a question, I believe at this point that we are going to go ahead and wrap up. We'll keep it under 10 minutes. Of course, if we get lively discussion in the future, these could go longer. So again, remember, we are here at 8:30 Mountain Time every single Wednesday, and that is 7:30 in Los Angeles, 10:30 in New York. Until next week, we hope you have an awesome day, a great rest of the week, an incredible weekend. And if you have a chance, do something randomly kind for a stranger today. So, and